And that. All right, let's bring in the gang and talk about this a little bit. Diana, first, I want you to take us through who's in and who's out.
Yeah, let's start with San Francisco, right? Yeah. So all eyes on Jimmy Garoppolo. He was a full participant at practice yesterday, so obviously just a really good sign. Beat reporters down on the ground saying he looked like he was in no pain, which is fantastic news for the quarterback. Nick Bosa, we saw him get hit in the game over the weekend. He is currently in concussion protocol, but Coach Kyle Shanahan says he's progressing really well. So good news for the Niners. For the Green Bay Packers, David Bakhtiari, he was limited yesterday. On Tuesday, he didn't practice at all. It was basically because of load management, but all signs point to him playing. And corner Jaire Alexander, right? This is a big question mark. He hasn't played since earlier in the year when he got hurt against the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's been dealing with that shoulder injury. I was told it's looking good that he's going to be able to go this weekend. So that's obviously a great piece on their defense that they want back in the lineup.
Okay, so that could be key. Both teams looking at some key returns on each side. So, Damian Woody, I want to start with you. I feel like all week long I've been hearing about the 49ers being a bad matchup for these Packers. What do you think about that? Why are the 49ers a bad matchup for the Packers?
Well, listen, we've been talking about the 49ers. First, we talked about the 49ers being a bad matchup for Dallas. Now the Packers. 49ers are just a good football team. And the reason they're a good football team is because their brand of football travels well in the playoffs. They're a very physical team. They love to run the ball. Okay, both lines of scrimmage are very good. And so if you're the Green Bay Packers, what you need to do is you need to take something away. And Lewis and Bart knows all about this. That's what most teams try to do, make you one-dimensional. You have to find a way to make the San Francisco 49ers one-dimensional. Take away the run. Because we clearly saw what happened in the Dallas game down the stretch with Jimmy G. We saw turnovers. Then we saw basically Kyle Shanahan manage Jimmy G and just start running the football again. So if you're the Green Bay Packers, you have to force the 49ers to do things that they don't want to do. What do they not want to do? Throw the ball all over the field with Jimmy G. That's not the formula for success for the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay, Bart, when you look at this matchup, what do you see? What is your eye drawn to?
Well, it is that run game, but, I'm just in the playoffs, coordinators matter, and you have to have a game plan. When I look at the 49ers running game, it's a simple run game. It's a power run game, but you have to have a plan. You have to understand what conceptually what they're trying to do. They're messing with your eyes. That's why they have motion 77% of the time of their plays. But you have to understand, basically, it's just downhill powers, counters, and things of that sort. So when we would play teams like this that had that motion, we would rock and roll our safeties. And you guys are probably saying, what's rock and roll your safeties? You want to make sure that you always have leverage. That way the eyes of your inside linebackers can be on the running back and not paying attention to the jet sweeps, because what happens is we invert that. Sean Payton used to try and do that with Reggie Bush all the time. So what we would do, the safety opposite the motion would come down because he's going to have outside leverage, and also he's going to have a ability to insert into the line into the box with leverage and power. So it's certain things that you have to do, but you have to understand how to stop those type of running games.
All right, and then Lewis, I look at this game, it's full of matchups, and one among them is how Davante Adams really skewered this team earlier in the year. What are you looking at as the key matchups in this game?
Yeah, that right there, Ryan. Look, how does San Francisco in the secondary slow down a wide receiver right now that every single team knows when you play Green Bay that you better make Davante a priority, but they move him around. He's a three-position player. He can play the split end, the flanker. He can play in the slot. They can put him in the backfield if they want. And they are going to have a plan for that. And San Francisco has struggled. They've given up 100-yard receiving games to upwards of 5-6 different people this year. I mean, Cooper Kupp went over 100 twice against them. And look, they know Cooper Kupp as well as anybody, being that he's in their division. So that, to me, is priority number one. We know that the running game is going to be solid as far as them being able to run the football with the two-headed attack that they have there in Green Bay headed by A.J. Dillon. But Davante, what do they do with him? How are they able to keep him from having a 100-yard plus type of receiving game and having, double-digit catches in this game and not having 18, 20 targets like he had last game? That's priority number one for me.
Oof, wow.
Yeah, I think that run game thing that Bart was talking about with the 49ers, you saw it against the Cowboys, how they're able to do it. And look, every time the San Francisco 49ers have lost, right? Jimmy G, 10 or so turnovers. That's the issue. It's really to take as much off the plate of Jimmy G. Yeah. That way they can control time of possession and also run the ball, knowing that the ball is safe there.
That's been the story all year. Yep.